In September 2021, a bombshell dropped. Internal documents leaked by a whistleblower revealed a shocking truth. Facebook, now Meta, knew its platforms were actively harming teenage mental health. This wasn't an accidental side effect. It was a consequence understood by its own researchers. The company's own data, suppressed for years, painted a stark picture of increased anxiety, depression, and body image issues, particularly among young girls using Instagram. What began as a tool for connection had mutated into something far more insidious, yet the company chose growth over user well-being. This is the story of how Meta uncovered the damage it was doing and why it decided to keep it secret. By the mid-2010s, Facebook's ascendancy was absolute. Founded in 2004, it had devoured MySpace and become a global digital leviathan, boasting over 2 billion users by 2017. Its 2012 acquisition of Instagram for $1 billion was a strategic masterstroke, neutralizing a rising competitor and solidifying its grip on the visual social network market. Instagram, launched in 2010, rapidly became a cultural phenomenon, especially among younger demographics. Its emphasis on curated visual perfection, endless scrolling, and instant validation mechanisms proved irresistibly addictive, reshaping how an entire generation perceived themselves and others. But beneath the veneer of seamless connection, a darker current was forming. As the platforms matured, internal research teams at Facebook began to notice troubling patterns. Their mandate was clear: understand user behavior, identify growth opportunities, and mitigate risks. However, what they uncovered went far beyond typical user engagement metrics. By 2018, researchers were systematically investigating the platform's impact on mental health, particularly for adolescents aged 13 to 17, who represented a critical, high-growth segment. This demographic, spending hours daily on apps like Instagram, became the focus of intense scrutiny. The central question emerged: was the very design of these ubiquitous platforms contributing to a public health crisis among the next generation? The answer, as uncovered in the Facebook files, was unequivocally yes. The internal alarm bells began ringing as early as 2016. Facebook's own data scientists were running detailed studies, surveying tens of thousands of teenage users across the United States and the United Kingdom. One slide, dated 2018, from an internal presentation titled "Instagram's Effect on Teen Mental Health," stated unequivocally, "We make body image issues worse for 1 in 3 teen girls." Another highlighted that among teens who reported suicidal thoughts, 13% of British users and 6% of American users traced the origin of these thoughts to Instagram. The findings were not anecdotal. They were statistical, direct, and undeniable. These weren't isolated reports. Various teams, working independently, consistently arrived at similar conclusions. Researchers noted the inherent pressure points built into Instagram's architecture, the constant performance of self, the comparison culture fueled by filtered images, and the algorithm's tendency to amplify content that triggered negative emotions, precisely because it drove engagement. One report detailed how teens, particularly girls, felt trapped in an addictive spiral where they knew Instagram was harmful, but felt unable to disengage, fearing social exclusion. This created a paradoxical dilemma for the company. The very features driving engagement were simultaneously eroding user well-being. A pivotal moment arrived in March 2020. Facebook executives, including Mark Zuckerberg, were briefed on the severity of the findings. The internal documents show clear awareness at the highest levels. One internal post from a Facebook research scientist summarized the dilemma: "We have a significant segment of users who feel worse off as a result of using our product. And in the case of teenage girls, this is a significant and measurable portion." Despite this, public statements by executives often downplayed or outright denied the negative impacts. consistently shifting blame to other factors or emphasizing positive aspects of connectivity. The strategic response, or lack thereof, became a pattern. While internal teams proposed potential mitigations, changes to algorithms, new tools for mental health support, features to reduce comparison, many were either never fully implemented or significantly deprioritized. The core business imperative, user growth and engagement, consistently overshadowed concerns for user safety. For instance, proposed changes to dial back the amplification of content related to dieting or extreme beauty standards were often stalled as these topics, while harmful, undeniably drove clicks and time spent on the app. The tension between profit and public health was not just theoretical. It was being played out in daily internal meetings, and profit consistently won. The company understood the problem intimately, yet its actions suggested a calculated risk assessment. The financial benefits of maintaining the status quo outweighed the growing ethical burden. The true pivot, the moment everything clicked into place, wasn't just the discovery of harm, but the systematic suppression of that knowledge. The Facebook files revealed a deliberate decision to shield these findings from the public, regulators, and even many of their own employees. Whistleblower Frances Haugen, a former Facebook data scientist, meticulously collected thousands of pages of internal documents, transforming internal dissent into undeniable public evidence. She didn't just expose research. She exposed a corporate culture that prioritized protecting its reputation and stock price over the demonstrated well-being of its most vulnerable users. This was not a case of ignorance or oversight. It was an institutional choice, a calculated risk taken by a company that understood the potentially catastrophic financial and regulatory consequences of publicly admitting its platforms were a net negative for a substantial portion of its youth demographic. The internal presentations, meticulously detailing the causal links between Instagram use and negative mental health outcomes, were deemed too sensitive for widespread internal distribution, let alone external release. The revelation wasn't just that Meta knew. It was that they actively concealed the extent of their knowledge, demonstrating a clear intent to manage perception rather than proactively solve the deeply rooted issues. This reframed the entire conversation from one of technological growing pains to one of corporate responsibility and ethical accountability. The fallout from the Facebook files, particularly the revelations concerning teen mental health, was immediate and widespread. Frances Haugen testified before the U.S. Congress and the British Parliament, presenting a compelling case for urgent regulatory action. The files sparked a fresh wave of investigations by government bodies, state attorneys general, and international regulators, scrutinizing Meta's practices, particularly regarding child safety and data privacy. Meta itself responded by announcing new initiatives, including parental controls and tools for teens to take a break. But critics largely viewed these as insufficient and reactive measures, designed to deflect rather than fundamentally alter their growth-at-all-costs strategy. Today, the debate continues, evolving beyond just Facebook to encompass the entire social media industry. Lawmakers worldwide are pushing for stricter age verification, algorithm transparency, and greater accountability for platform design choices. The key implication is that the era of self-regulation for tech giants may finally be drawing to a close. For parents, educators, and young people, the Facebook files serve as a stark reminder. The digital spaces we inhabit are not neutral. They are designed, often meticulously, to maximize engagement, and that design can have profound, often detrimental, impacts on our psychological well-being. Understanding this mechanism is the first step toward reclaiming agency in a digitally saturated world. The Facebook files laid bare a critical truth. The pursuit of exponential growth in the digital age often comes at a hidden human cost. When platforms prioritize engagement metrics above all else, the most vulnerable users, particularly teens, bear the brunt. This story isn't just about one company's internal struggles. It's a testament to the immense power wielded by technology giants and the urgent need for transparency, ethical design, and robust oversight. The question isn't whether technology connects us, but at what price, and who ultimately pays that bill.